Are you Dewan Fairley? Mr. Fairley, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Any witness and the defendant are dating and they have a child. On October 14th, 2024, any witness was driving while the defendant was a passenger and their son was in the rear seat. Defendant began questioning complaining witness because he thought she was cheating, which prompted an argument. Defendant began putting his hands in complaining witness's face, impairing complainant's ability to see the road. Complainant brought the vehicle to an immediate stop. Defendant then began grabbing her left shoulder. While defendant was grabbing her shoulder, complaining witness turned and bit defendant on his hands in an attempt to get defendant to release her. Defendant then punched complainant with a closed fist in the face, causing pain.
All right, Mr. Fairley, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do we know whether she wants to have contact with him?
I believe she does want contact, Judge. It looks like someone from DVD did the rip.
How do you have that belief?
Someone from our domestic
back.
violence division called her and she said she doesn't want to move forward. So she does want contact with the defendant.
Any other priors that you see?
No criminal history, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Fairley, I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any threatening or harassing contact with this witness. If I find that you do, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Sir.
So I don't know what kind of relationship you have with this person, but if you're someone who's constantly going to fight with this person, be careful. Because remember, it's not what you think as far as threatening or harassing, it's how she perceives. So can conduct in and of itself violate this order? It absolutely can. If I go like this, is that threatening or harassing? It is. And it can land you in jail in a moment's notice. Do you understand?
Sir.
We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I will have you come up here. The other thing you need to understand is there's a protective order that is in place. I would get to know it because if you violate this protective order, the state can and will file additional charges against you. And then it gets ugly really quick. You understand? I will have you come up here. Well, we're going to have you sign a court order to not to have any threatening or harassing contact. I'm also prohibiting you from having any weapons as well. No guns, knife, nothing. I'll have you sign a receipt and we'll get you out of here to hire a lawyer. All right. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Otherwise, I'll issue a warrant. Please. Ms. Hernandez,
J.A.s. Hernandez, how are you?
you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Please don't say anything.
On August 18th, 2023, the defendant issued a check for $1,577 as a payment for vehicle registration. The bank returned the check saying that there were insufficient funds. Complaining witnesses provided a copy of the demand letter sent to the defendant, no response.
Got it. All right, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. You need a lawyer to represent you in this case. This is a theft by check and it can have dire consequences on your, going forward. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm not going to put any conditions on your bond. Just be careful. Don't pick up any new cases. We'll just have you sign a receipt and we'll get you out of here. When you come back, please have a lawyer. Okay? Please. You are on bond for 2 assaults, and now you've picked up a new case.
Can I explain myself?
We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 15th, 2024, officers were assisting with a stranded motorist, disabled in Harris County, Texas, when a witness ran up to the officer and stated that he had been shot at. Witness fell on the ground and the officers observed defendant running across the street. Witness pointed out the defendant and stated defendant was the one who shot him,
What?
shot at him.
And he's charged with an evading arrest and an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon?
Oh, no, he didn't.
Sure, Judge. I can look further into the offense report.
Your Honor,
But
on this case, initially, yes, that's what the complainant said, but upon further investigation, the officer could not locate the weapon. And also, he was unsure of whether, based on the offense report, whether the defendant was the one who shot based on location of the complainant, as well as the fact that he couldn't observe the weapon upon retracing the steps of the defendant.
Don't we have shot spotters out there now anyways? What, I mean, you know, it would be interesting to see where this location is, see if there's an actual shot spotter out there. If there is, let's pull the records. You know, it's not rocket science, okay?
So the defendant then began running in the officer's direction. Officers marked patrol vehicle was blocking the lanes with lights activated. Officer yelled at D to stop. And
I'm the defendant, you.
You are the defendant.
Yelled at the defendant to stop and identified himself as police. Defendant turned around and began to run away from the officer. Officer gave chase and yelled again to the defendant, IDing himself and asking for the defendant to stop, which the defendant refused, looking back and continued running. Approximate length of chase was 0.6 miles.
Mr. Richardson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your evading arrest. You have been given multiple bonds. I asked you to do one thing while you were on bond for both of those assault cases. Do you remember?
Stay clean,
And stay out of trouble.
stay out of trouble. I was shy.
And now you picked up a new case. I'm revoking your bond. He goes with you.
You broke my bond?
Mhm.
I was shy.
Mr. Dominguez, you're
Señor Domínguez, a usted se le acusa
driving while
de manejar
intoxicated,
intoxicado.
facing up to a year in
Usted
jail
enfrenta
and or a
cárcel
$4.
hasta un año y multa de $4,000.
You guys have worked out an agreement. They're
Tenemos
offering
un
you 1
acuerdo
year in jail
Que le ofrecen un año en la cárcel,
to be probated for
que
1
le van a
year.
dar probatoria por un año. Mrs. Domínguez.
As part of the probation, you will do a T-RAS, which is an evaluation to
Una
see what
evaluación que se llama
conditions
TIVES
you may
para
need.
ver cuáles otras condiciones usted
Also do
posiblemente
a
necesita.
repeat offender
Vas a
DWI
tomar
education class,
Una clase de droga y alcohol,
one victim impact
un
panel,
clase panel de impacto de víctimas.
have a guardian
Tienes
interlock
que hacer el aparato de soplar
throughout the entire time,
por medio de todo la probatoria.
no breath test refusal.
Usted no puede negar la muestra de aliento. Si te
Officer asks you to submit to a breath sample, you
piden
must,
hacer una muestra de aliento, lo tienes que hacer.
no drugs,
No puede usar drogas, no puede usar ningún tipo de alcohol.
have now.
Excuse me?
Does he have a device now?
He doesn't have a device at this moment. No tienes aparato de soplar, ¿verdad? He doesn't have a device right now. Le van a dar 2 semanas,
Must have the device within 2 weeks.
pero tienes que tener el aparato dentro de 2 semanas.
Not
Si no lo tienes,
violate any of these conditions.
si violas cualquier
jail.
condición, te van a meter a la cárcel.
If
Él
you
quiere que usted
continue
entiende
to
que si usted consume alcohol mientras estando en la
tells me that you
probatoria,
have a
quiere
problem,
decir que usted necesita
to
un
in a
problema
rehab
y
facility,
te puede poner una rehabilitación.
understand.
¿Usted entiende? Yes.
You're giving up the right to a
Usted
trial,
está renunciando al derecho de ir a juicio, derecho de tener
Yeah.
testigos con usted,
cross-examine
confrontar
you.
los testigos que se le acusan.
Not a
Si usted
citizen,
no es ciudadano de los Estados Unidos,
can constitute
hay consecuencias de inmigración posiblemente que puede resultar en
Country,
deportación, exclusión del
natural.
país, le pueden negar cualquier aplicación.
to accept this
Cuando
agreement,
usted acepta esto, no hay manera de apelar el caso. Usted tiene que cumplir con todo.
okay,
Si no, te van a meter a la cárcel.
you will also be responsible
También va a
for
ser
the
responsable
DPS fines and fees and
Pagar los gastos y
surcharges,
las multas de
which will come
DPS,
around to around
le van
35,
a ser
I'm sorry, no,
aproximadamente
$500.
4,500
Hey,
que usted va a hacer un requisito de pagar, porque si no lo pagas,
jail for
no
every
puede
$100,
ser que te metan en la cárcel por cada
sit
100
one day
dólares,
in jail.
un día en la cárcel por cada 100 dólares que no pagas.
Understand?
¿Usted entiende eso?
Sí.
Yes, Your Honor.
Give you plenty
Este
of
va a dar bastante tiempo para pagar esa multa.
years to pay it
Va a
off.
ser aproximadamente 2 años para pagarlo, pero si no lo pagas, te van a meter a la cárcel. Yes, Your Honor.
Questions?
¿Usted tiene alguna pregunta? No, sir.
How do you plead to the
¿Cómo se declara la ofensa de manejar intoxicado?
guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
On you,
Va a encontrar que sí es culpable.
because you are doing a
Porque usted
probation,
está haciendo
not
una
going to
probatoria,
suspend.
no te van a suspender la
I
licencia.
don't know if you have a
Pero
driver's
él no
license.
sabe si usted tiene licencia a este punto.
No.
Si usted no tiene licencia de conducir, usted no puede manejar para nada.
Do you have a Texas
¿Usted
driver's
tiene
license?
licencia de conducir?
No.
No, sir.
And I'm making that also a
Va a ser
condition.
una condición de la probatoria que usted
Signing
no
an
puede
affidavit
manejar, que
before
usted va a firmar un documento
promising us that
jurando
you're not going to
que usted
drive
no va a manejar
without
para nada durante el tiempo de la probatoria. Si lo encuentran manejando,
a lot of
lo van a
time.
meter a la cárcel. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck.
Buena suerte.
Okay, everyone.
Thank you, Judge.
45 plus. Is it DeTwain Johnson? Daytwan. Mr. Johnson, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 16th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas on a silver Buick bearing a Texas temp tag with no return to a motor vehicle, no light, and not sure what that means. But he had a temp tag that did not return to a vehicle and a no lights in the back. So the defendant exited from the driver's side of the motor vehicle, leaving the vehicle on and walked towards the patrol motor vehicle quickly. Defendant attempted to walk back towards the driver's side to turn off the motor vehicle. Officers stopped defendant before he opened the door. Defendant stated the firearm was inside the vehicle. Officers opened the driver's side door and observed a Glock in plain view, unholstered, and in the driver's side door panel.
Find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
No, sir, I have an ID, a state ID.
Not allowed to drive. I'm making that a condition of your bond, and you will be signing an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. If you get a Texas driver license and liability insurance, I will let you drive. But until that point, if I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
I had insurance on my car though. They didn't.
Don't have a license. You need a license, a Texas driver's
Oh,
license.
yes, sir.
Until you have a license, you can't drive. I'm glad that you have insurance because that's really one of the most important parts. Because if you get into an accident and create $50,000 in damage, if you don't have insurance, they're going to come after you and make you pay the 50 grand.
Yes, sir.
Have insurance, and if you get into an accident, they'll even give you a lawyer to represent you. But you still need a license. If you get a license, come back and show me, and then I'll take this off. But until that point, don't. We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive, not be in possession of any weapons, and after that, we'll let you go. What do you do for a living?
I work for landscaping and mulching.
And how much money do you make a month?
Oh, my fault. Work for like 2,500. It'd be like 2,500.
A month?
It's not that much, you know. This was
2,500 is not bad. I mean, who do you live with? Where? Do you live by yourself in the apartment or who with?
Just me.
Do you have any children?
Yes, sir. I have a daughter.
Where's the kid now? Do you provide support for the child? I'll have you fill out an application. I'll take a look at it to see whether you qualify. I need to know everything about you, what kind of car you have, how much money you have in the bank.
I don't have a bank account there.
Telling you, don't put all zeros, because if you do that, I'm going to send it right back to you. I need to know everything about you, monetary, financial, everything. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
We'll have you come up here, swear to this, and then they'll give you an application, fill out, and I'll take a look, okay?
Judge, we also have this